critiquers!
I'm Pam.
And I'm Keith, and this is the PK's Movie Critique. Well, I tried to get her to do it yesterday so that we could get on a schedule. You know, I like to get them done on Thursday, so when y'all could at least tell you whether or not to take your girlfriends or boyfriends out on a date for Friday or the weekend to the movies. But she wouldn't do it. Hopefully we'll get it back in the situation where we can. So, but this week we're gonna we went to see, and well, let's go ahead and get into the trailers. Now, the trailers is off of YouTube, so, you know, because Bridge Street's already taken it off. So, here we go.
Really?
Yep.
Had a bad dream.
Hello, Finney. Did you think our story was over? You're dead. You, of all people, know that dead is just a word. He's here. Vengeance is mine.
Well, as you can see, the movie came out in October, and here it is the first week of November, and it's already being taken. I figured it would be Bridge Street would still have it going, but it's not. So, but the movie is The Black Phone 2, and it is a sequel to another movie, which I think it's just The Black Phone, but some of y'all may want to call it The Black Phone 1. Now, we did not go see this. Like I said, this was the last minute movie selection for us, so we didn't see The Black Phone 1, or the original. And I would suggest you see that. But this is a rated R horror movie. It's 1 hour and 54 minutes. And the original the original movie was put out in 2021, so it's only 3 years difference, 4 years difference between the movies, and it had a lot of the same characters in it. So I suggest watching the Black. It's streaming now, so feel free to watch it. And the there's a lot of scenes in it that's in this movie that was in the other movies. Now you can't really go. It's easy to, if you're like me, you like to keep up with it, but if you keep everything in mind, you'll find some defects in it. You know, some flaws in it, and that is usually a bad thing on my part. So, how about yours?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, but some of the characters was Mason Thames. He was Finney.
He was in both movies.
Yes, and his sister. He considers himself the Gwen's protector because. Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. Then you got Ethan Hawke, who is Grabber. Some of them wants to call him the Grabber. Some of them wants to call him other things, but
The bad guy.
Yeah, he's the killer since 1958. Madeline McGraw, she is Gwen, and she's Finn's sister, and she was. Well, Ethan Hawke was in the other movie too, and the original. And Madeline McGraw, she was in the first movie. And you can see a little bit of an age difference. Now, did you figure out which one was 7 minutes? They're supposed
The
to be.
girl.
They're supposed to be twins, but as you could tell, they're fraternal twins. Not identical. Because the height difference, boy,
The
girl.
sex difference.
You know, the hair colors. You know, so. But one of them, Gwen always says she's 7 minutes before the Finn. So, only twins could know those things. And then you had Damien Bichir. He was Armando, and he's the camp supervisor. And I don't know if he was in the other movie.
I think he was.
He was. And then you have Jeremy Davis, who is Terrence Blake, which is Finn's and Gwen's father, and he was in both movies. Now, Saronia Rivas, who is Mustang, and she's Amando's daughter. Miguel Mora, who is Ernest, and he wants to be Gwen's boyfriend. Or he hopes to be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're sticking on them too long there.
Well, I gotta get them up, you know. So, in the original movie, their father, he is a drunk. And,
Child abuser.
well, he's not a child abuser. He's a spanker.
With a belt repeatedly.
Well, that ain't don't mean you're abusing the kid.
If you repeatedly do it.
It didn't. So, now, and Gwen dreams things that are happening, and she tries to inform the family of what she's dreaming. And in one instance, she tells where to find them, and the police. Now, remember, this is in the first movie. The police ask her how she knows, and she says, "I dreamed it." You know, if you was to, somebody would say, come up and say, "I dream you." See, I dream I'm handsome all the time, but that don't mean anything, right? It's when somebody else tells me I'm handsome. Oh, she ain't going to, see? But, so the cops don't believe her, and they are under surveillance, and her dad gets mad because while he was at work, the cops came asking for things, and he gets all upset, and then he spanks her.
Beats.
That wasn't a beating. She wasn't even crying. So, she didn't hit her hard. He didn't hit her hard enough, right? But Finn thought he was beating her, and he got mad at him and everything. But apparently, she got mad at her. You know, but in the process, you know, there's this one, Robin, is that his name? He was the Indian that...
Yeah, I think it was.
And he gets in a fight. Now, pay attention on that one, because you may see it again in the second movie.
Well, we're talking about the second movie.
Well, and he comes up missing, and along with some others, and they help Finn when he gets captured, and Gwen helps him. And in that movie, Finn kills the bad guy. The grabber. And
why don't you just tell the whole thing there, people?
This is the first movie. We're not critiquing that one.
We are critiquing the second one.
Yeah, I'm getting them up how they should, the way they're thinking in the process. So in the long run, Finn kills the guy, and he goes back to school, and everybody thinks he's a hero. So now we're getting to the second movie. So keep that in mind and everything. So the second movie has references back to the first movie. That's the reason why I told you some of the stuff that was going on. And you got to pay attention to the timelines that they keep showing you. Because at first it starts out in 1958. And there's this girl who answers the phone, and she starts talking to these people. So she answers the phone. It was at only Alpine Lake winter camp for kids. And what it was it was a payphone. And you know those old payphones, they take money. Oh, so it takes money to place a call. You don't take money to get a call. And they didn't have cell phones and everything else. And these cards and stuff, you had to actually put the money in. And so the phone rings and she answers it. She starts talking. And then the next scene, right after that, it comes up, and they're in 1982. Now, at that, 1982 is all it goes up to. But in during this, Finn is fighting like Robin did in the first movie. So Robin taught him how to fight, and that's how he was doing it. And Gwen stops him, and because she thinks she is his what do I want to say, guardian angels, bodyguard keeps him in line on his emotional things. Now Gwen, she has some problems of herself because she has dreams, like I said, and some of them comes true, or she is trying to fix some stuff that's happening at this time. And in the process, she sleepwalks. Now, remember, this is winter time. Snow's out on the ground. And she's out there in her nightie. But for some reason, she sleeps in her socks.
You've been known to when your feet get cold.
Yeah, well, but it would have probably been better if she didn't have any socks, but then she would have probably got coat. Well, we don't know about that yet. But, and Finn goes out and he's always following her wherever she goes and tries and help her to keep her from getting hurt. So, well, he has she has a friend, Ernesto. He is wanting to take her out
To a concert.
to a concert. Who was that?
Was it Duran Duran? I can't remember.
It was.
Duran Duran, the Police, or something like that.
No, it wasn't the Police. It might have been Duran Duran. Yeah, well, it's 82. We know it couldn't be Elvis. And was it the Village People?
No.
No. Oh, well. But he was. He's trying to be her boyfriend, and Finn kept kidding Gwen about it's a date, so it was pretty good. But in later they found a job at the Alpine Lake for consultant trainees, and the consultant trainees, does it even talk about how much they're going to get paid?
No.
No, but this is in Colorado, middle of winter, and why would I'm still trying to think. Is schools is it during the schools out? Because school was in process, that's when it started.
I don't know.
Because
You have to remember, I don't remember much.
Yeah. So, but in the process, you know, they find a job wanting some trainees at this Alpine kids camp, and they try to talk Finn into it. Well, Finn don't like it very much, so he declines it, but then he realizes, hey, Gwen's going, so, and she's probably going to sleepwalk, and, you know, if there's a lake up there, you know, everybody likes to go swimming, I reckon, even in their sleep. But then again, it's iced over, so frozen over, so she won't get much swimming, will she? So, but she gets up that one. He says, okay, if y'all's going, I'll go. So he throws in. Now he dresses, he's more like a guy. You know, throws 3 pairs of socks, a pair of shoes, and 2 pairs of pants. And the thing says, let's go. Oh, I wonder who else does that. You? So, but his packing style is a lot familiar to a lot of folks. So when they get up there, they have it's snowing real hard, and they have a hard time finding it. But as they was going into the gates, that's when they are met by a pretty little girl named Mustang. Was her last name Sally? Nah, it wasn't Mustang Sally. But she's riding a horse in the middle of snow, trying to show them the way to the camp. And so they get there, and they did discuss with her father, who is the supervisor, who's just bought the place and trying to get it to open up again. And they admit that their parents, their mother, worked there in 1958 before it closed. And he asked who it was, and he says they had nicknames all the time, and he told them that, go, are y'all her kids? Oh man, y'all are gonna do great here. That's what everybody says about kids. You know, they lie. But after during the process is also he comes to find out he's trying to find 3 kids that died in 1958 and that they never found the bodies from the grabber. But that's not the main of the story. So they get going, and when they get there, they start having fun, wouldn't they? Okay, so, but who's doing the killing? I'll let you figure that one out. Because you saw in the trailers he was wearing a mask. You know. So now, I would say you need to watch Black Phone 1 before you see this movie. What do you think?
Definitely.
Because it will keep you going, And some of the phrases that's in the movie, you'll be able to tell where they're coming from. So, is there any cover the ears?
Yes.
Yes, there's a lot of cover your ears. And it's mainly from Gwen. Who knew a little girl could cuss so much? That's even more than the Navy wives I've ever met. She cussed. She even said words that I don't like saying. So, is there any cover the eyes?
Not that I remember.
No. Because the water was frozen over and it was too cold. So they couldn't get into the bikinis and stuff. So what was your snore rating, Pammy?
I got 7 or 8.
Hey.
I slept pretty good.
Yeah, she did. She got watching it and she was snoring big time. So, I would give it a snore rating of 1 because it took a while to get things built up. Because there's a lot of stuff that was happening in there that we didn't mention that is good for you to watch. What was your overall?
1. What bit I saw of it.
What, 5 minutes?
I watched a little more than 5.
Okay, 2 minutes. So, well, I would give it a 5. And that was even before watching the original movie. And yes, you would be able to tell some of the stuff that was going to happen, but there was some what do you say when you surprise their scenes? There was several of them, so that's what made it fun. You'd be sitting there and the next thing you know is something happens and whoa, because you wasn't expecting it. So, was there any trailers?
No.
No, I didn't see no trailers. You think there'll be a sequel?
There probably is, but, I mean, what do you think?
Well, watching the first movie and seeing what happened there, and they came up with the second one, and the only thing we learned in the second one is don't play hockey on a frozen lake. They could come up with another one because there's a lot of ghosts in it. Well, turn off your sound or turn your thing up because I'm going to give a few spoilers and they're not bad ones, but they're okay.
I'll go to sleep.
Oh. See, she's even going to sleep through our critiques. That's how important it was for her. Okay. But like we said now here's the spoilers. So, and this is only things from me and her. It was winter time, snowing on the ground, but when they talked, you didn't see no mist coming from their mouths. It was like they were in a 70-degree area. No, they didn't tell you the temperature up there, except for it was snowing. Now, in the camp, they had heaters like in the sleeping areas, like big ones every 20, 30 feet apart. And why would you have all those heaters on if you didn't have kids up there? I know they were supposed to, but the snowstorm delayed them. And how long does it take ice to freeze for a lake to have you be able to play ice hockey on it? Worse, even drive vehicles on it. You know, I know several times around here it was cold. It would take 2 or 3 days for it to be real cold before you could drive on it. And when you drive on it, you got to be careful because your car might be in the lake. But so, and if it does freeze, I don't never remember being able to look to the bottom of the lake with a flashlight when it was frozen. Those are things that, you know, you sit there and they're doing the stuff and you think, oh, they're using the flashlight and they could see the bottom of the lake. I don't think that's true. So, well, that's all the for the movie critique for today, and hopefully next week will be even better. What do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm shooting for The Running Man.
When does it come out?
The 14th.
That's next week.
That's what I said, next week. Oh, is it a week after?
I believe so.
But these movies are...
It may not be. It may be this week. But anyway.
These movies are bad and far between, so hopefully we'll get them all done.
Night.
So I'll let y'all go so that she could go to sleep. Okay. Well, have fun and talk to you later.